Hello YouTube, my name is Plazukas, and today's video is going to be on the state of Wuthering Waves. Over the course of the last few weeks, from the launch of the live service global servers of Wuthering Waves, the developers have, I guess, perception-wise, worked their absolute ass off to try to appeal to content creators and the community. Now, I'm not suggesting that they don't have an obligation to their customer or to their corporation or just in general to make sure that their game launches successfully and is with fewer bugs as possible. But at some level, you have to ask yourself, haven't they done enough? Can't you give them a break? And yes, they've made mistakes. And yes, there are certain things that they have said that they probably should not have said in the way they did based on the overall perception of it. But as someone who's played this game for about 30 hours now, I am very satisfied with the product that I've received. I've experienced very little issues. And really, no one is talking about overly glaring bugs or game breaking things that are stopping them from advancing in the game. It is just small little nitpicking things that are being conveyed or criticized. And now we have Mr. Pokey, who I've watched continuously for the past 10 days or so, coming out doing his spiel, his little you know, game that he has for content creation. And I'm just fed up with it. I'm fed up with it. You know, we have people like Tectone that comes on and say, "Don't you think we should get paid? Don't you think we should get paid?" We have the other person that reacted to my video, "Don't you think we should get paid?" Yes, I think you should get paid. And we also know that the developers over at Kuro Games, which are in China, most likely are underpaid and overworked. In this video, Mr. Pokey, and not just this video, all the videos that he does while he's live, because he wants to essentially kill two birds with one stone while being live and making YouTube videos as well, asks if his editors are ready. Apparently he has more than one. I don't know if all of them are paid or whoever gets to it first gets paid as contractors. I have no idea how it works. Sounds pretty sus to me. But now he's reacting to the Kuro games who are capitulating to the content creators again, or to the customers again. And in some respects, I think they make the right choice. Don't get me wrong. The weapon banner in the Japanese version of it was translated wrong, and therefore it could be perceived as an issue. And they are making some adjustments to their initial response. But then we have to deal with the echoes, which these content creators have farmed thousands of them. That is their entire channel. That is all the hours they've spent playing this game, is farming for echoes to essentially min-max their builds, just like they would in Diablo or Path of Exile or whatever other looter shooter exists. And they have identified that it's too grindy, or that it's too pay to win, or blah, 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 blah. And although I think that is probably a concern, an issue that the developers needed to address at some point, the fact that they're addressing them now is a good thing, don't get me wrong, but they've already addressed so many other issues before this. And these content creators will not hold back. They'll continue to talk about this because it's content. And I've been saying this, and I will say this again. Content is king for these particular content creators. They do not care about the video game. They do not care about Wuthering Waves. If Wuthering Waves dies tomorrow because of all the capitulation is done, they'll move on to something else. They'll move on to something else. It's content. You, the player, might care about this game. You, the player, might feel a void if it goes away, and you will be ridiculed for that feeling as well. Because you shouldn't feel that way for any game, period. I say you should feel that way because most likely you're a gamer. And that's how gamers connect with their video games. They have a connection with them. They have a feeling towards them. Is that right? Is that wrong? Is that a relationship that you should or should not have with a video game? Well, that is a conversation you should have with yourself. You know, whether you're addicted to games, whether you're too emotionally invested, which are all possible. The difference between you and a content creator is that they receive money for this job, so therefore they could care less as long as they're making content and it's successful. Wuthering Waves, they have Genshin to go back to, they have Honkai Star Rail to go back to, they have all the other games that's kind of re-releasing they have to go back to. They don't have to do gacha, they can do something else, they can do old games. Content is king.
Address some of the most discussed and concerned issues. You can check them more. You can check more details through the link below. God fucking damn! Wait, I need to make a thumbnail for this real quick.
This is how the sauce is made. This is live on his channel, using his live audience to watch his YouTube videos. Now, I admit this is fun content. I'm not here to suggest that this is nefarious or wrong or lazy. No, of course not. But it exists, and content is king.
How do I do like? I need to make like adjustment directions. Dear rovers, we are the and there it fucking is.
And there it fucking is. We are content creators, and we have gotten what we said. And they'll say, well, it's a win for the entire community because we say it's too grindy because we spend 16-hour days grinding this game. And if we think it's grindy, then obviously a casual would think it's grindy. And that could be true. I don't deny that. But at what point do you shoot your own self by making the game more accessible, more casual? Gachas, in my mind, should be grindy. They should take a long time, years to progress. You know, I would suggest that maybe these Honkai, Genshin Impact content creators don't want to have to spend their entire life on this game because they want to play the other games. So with it being less grindy, they have time for other games as well. Therefore, they don't fall too far behind on this game and then come back to it and do their content because content is king. It's not about the grind. It's not about substantial. It's not about investment. It's about content. Developers be damned. Developers, whether you're sleeping, whether you have any kind of weekend, whether you're getting paid right, who cares? Give me what I want now because I want my content. I want my resolution. I want my wins.
It's almost as if I'm talking sense here. It's almost as if it is not a will problem. It's almost as if.
This is talking about whales, talking about people who spend money in having that be something that can be fixed with the grind. Most equipment style systems, and in this case the Echoes are that in Wuthering Waves, are technically pay to win. Should it be? No, I don't think it should be. Honkai, obviously, Genshin does it relatively well. I can't really speak for Genshin because I don't know exactly how it does for grinds for the weapons. But even in Honkai, the artifact system, which is different here because there's a weapon system as well that's too gacha. But the system that you can basically do equipment is gated. You're gated by that. In this game, it doesn't even gate you to do that. You can grind as many times as you want. And if you are allowed to do that, then obviously the amount of RNG is going to be pretty high. Obviously, that's baked into the system so that you can't just complete it in a day. That's considered a flaw, and in my opinion, it's not, because gacha games should be long-form content. Long-form video game content for the player. These games are not meant to be completed in a day and just crashed away. Now, if you want that experience, there's plenty of other games that exist that are single player, that are not gacha, that can provide that. This is a certain style of game. I'm not going to take a win by diluting that experience, by making it so that you don't have, so essentially you are going to finish things within a day. I'm not going to use that as a win.
They listened. All right. I see what we're aware of the common concern in the
They've been listening endlessly, relentlessly, trying to do everything they can to get into the good graces of everybody in the community so they can make the money and establish themselves as an actual IP. I mean, I applaud them for that. I know how much work that takes. I know how much controversy that has been for being overworked and crunching, and they're doing it. You know, we obviously have an issue in the United States because we're consumers with products in China, because we want everything to be low cost and we want it now, and yet we can't responsibly identify that there's issues in China with labor and inhumane conditions. But we don't care as long as it's cheaper and it's available. I ask that all content creators just back off of Wuthering Waves. Give them a few weeks, you know, let them have a vacation. They just launched a game that they've been working on relentlessly for 3 years. And doing that in 3 years is a milestone. Most games like this don't come out for 5-6 years. So they've already worked their ass off, and now they're continuing to work their ass off. And you know what? They deserve a little bit of a break so that they can get back to a regular cadence. They can give us great content. My name is Pazookas. If you like this content, like, subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.